Hi, we will be doing sprouts today. This would be relatively Maharashtrian style. For that we have sprouts, mixed sprouts, about cup and a half, roughly chopped garlic, green chilies, coriander stem, tomatoes and onion. I have my pan ready, it's warm. I'm going to add in some oil. We're going to light saute the garlic first. This is a small little trick I do for giving it a deep frying effect without too much of oil. We're going to be waiting for it to turn brown so that we can reserve some of the garlic that will be used as garnish. That's the reserved garlic we're going to be using for the garnish. So I'm going to be using some coriander powder, dhania powder, little bit of jeera. This is the kuti mirch or the mirchi which is going to be giving in the spiciness, and I'm using the other lal mirch powder. This is for the color, so that we get an even balance of color and heat. It's just sauteed for like about a few seconds, so I add in the tomatoes. It's sauteed about for a minute or two now. We're going to let cook it until the tomatoes pretty much dissolve. I missed out on the haldi or the turmeric and I've added a little bit of salt. Now the tomatoes are pretty much cooked, so I'm going to add this and saute it a little bit further. Yeah, we're going to let it stay in for a while. I'm stirring it occasionally so that the beans saute up before we can add in the water. The sprouts are sauteed for about 3 to 4 minutes. I'm adding in warm water just so that it doesn't disturb the cooking and the beans don't stop boiling or get against negative heat or a cooling effect. So we're going to let it saute for about a few minutes and it should be ready. I've added in the water. I will lid it up a bit just so that it cooks easily. It's got this nice lovely red color which is due to the tomatoes and the red chili powder. Sprouts are inherently bitter, so I add in a little bit of sugar so that the bitterness isn't overpowered. And while serving, I'll use like a wedge of lime for this. I'll pop in the coriander roots. We have a little bit of garlic and the coriander leaves for garnish. We'll reduce the flame. It's about 12 minutes that we must have let it cook, right from the sauteing to the boiling. It's perfectly fine. This is the consistency I was looking for. So it's kind of ready now. So I'm going to be doing something very interesting now. I am taking in the sprouts, adding in a little bit of coriander, few bits of this. What you can see here is basically the watermelon crust, the inner crust after the greens. They provide a nice crunchy, it's edible and it's pretty much like cucumber with a mild citricness to it, which is like, it's relatively a little sour. So I've added this to give it a nice cooling down effect because yes, this thing is quite hot. And to ensure that the red stuff doesn't do much of the bad stuff to your belly, we're going to use a little bit of high fiber bread which is multigrain. Enjoy your meal. Bon appetit.